We don't want to interrupt the wrinkle that we've already placed in here. But we've got this area here, it's still pretty youthful. So we want to sink it in a little bit. As you age, you tend to lose a lot of that in your face. It tends to kind of sink in or fall, right? So we're going to add a shadow in here. And I'm selecting to come in right below where his cheekbone is. So the thickest part of his cheekbone is right here. I can see it. Okay? So I'm going to come in below it, and then I'm going to pull it down into... Oh, sorry. Sorry. And I'm going to pull it down into here a little bit. Okay? And I'm going to pull my shadow up, and I'm going to pull it out, because I don't want there to be... a line.
Oh, Sam. What a weird place to be ticklish. It's awesome.
I know, it just happens randomly.
Okay.
Mini seizure.
And I'm going to emphasize that just a little here on the top. I'm going to emphasize his cheek, because he's got a little cheek. Okay.
Wow. That's
Can you
amazing.
tell the difference? Here, look on the other side.
He almost looks skeletal.
Yeah, he's getting close, isn't he?
You can see him pretty old.
This is definitely.
So we're going a little extreme.
So if he was Benjamin Button, about how old would you think? Like 10?
I'd say, yeah. I'd say he's approaching 90. A little older than what we want to go with you. But we want you
Just
to
a
be
wee bit.
fairly old. Okay, so then we can come down here and emphasize the chin line. Okay, so what if we wanted to come down here and...
You'll be like
Emphasize.
20 on the Benjamin Button scale.
Yeah, that's right.
Year. I think that was the year he finally got off those leg braces.
I liked the time traveler's wife, because he does the same thing.
No, it's too sad.
He ages opposite way too.
Your ball. Tears.
Really? I have it at home recorded. I haven't watched
Right
it yet.
in their eyes.
Okay, you see how we're sagging his chin now?
So nothing like Whip It.
Like what?
Whip It. The roller derby movie.
Okay, let's do something to his forehead and to his temples. We haven't touched that area yet. Okay, one thing that happens typically
Is this Megan?
is this area on your
Sam.
temple
Sam.
darkens.
Look that way again for a second. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, director.
Okay, so we've got this area right here, and on Sam, it kind of goes like this. It's the same type of shape as what was in the inner eye. It's like a rounded triangle. So we want to darken this area here. Again, we don't want to go too dark.
So with old age makeup, do you not go back over it with the sponge? You try and do all the blending with the brush?
I do, because it's so detailed.
Yeah.
If it's a little too harsh, then obviously you can do whatever you like. Okay, so just got a little bit there. Now if I wanted to make the inside of that temple even darker, I have the general wash, and then I would come back in. And sink in just a little further. You see the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that you can do. And mine are gonna be, well, that one's yellow and white. You have these cool little things in your kits. Okay, they kind of look like a, yeah, like a Brillo pad or something you can wash your dishes with. Okay, it's called a stipple sponge. S-T-I-P-P-L-E. And it's just a little scratchy. Well, it makes really cool texture effects on your face for anything you want. If you wanted a thicker beard, you could dab it in that color and dab it on your face and make you look like you have a thicker beard. Okay? You can also age yourself with it a little bit. So if I wanted to put just a little bit of shadow on my stipple brush, okay, now let them look at you. So that sunk his face in more than the other side of his face. Depending on how realistic you want to go, as you age and the older character that you want to portray, you might want to have a very realistic old age face. Maybe you want to have a very stylized face, which would be a little different. If you want to have more realistic, you would stipple different areas, sink your face in, your pores in even more. That's what these things are so cool for. Okay, we can even come down here in this part of his cheek.
So that's what the stippling meant, right?
Yes.
All right.
Now, you want to be careful that you don't muddy it or make it look too much like a beard. Okay? So I'm softening that area there. Because as I think it will attract in the area that is sunk in, if I continue down his face, it will look like he has a beard.
Can you use this stipple sponge to create stubble?
Yes, you can. If I did that all over his face, it'd look like he had a brown beard. Okay. Another thing that you all have in your kit. Mine is a little different than yours. His hair white. Okay. And please experiment with this in your grade, because you'll want to think about your hair also. So when you do your old age makeup, don't come get your picture taken with bandana in. Do something with your hair to make it help you look older. Okay, regardless of what it is. But anyway, this is the one that's in your kit. I'll use mine. You have to shake it up, right? And this one you can hear it like a paint can. Okay. Another thing I probably threw mine away with. An old toothbrush is really good for this kind of stuff. Mine, oh, I haven't even opened this one.